If you are like most people, your New Year's resolutions are probably a distant memory already. So we are joined by health and fitness expert Dai Manuel today, who is here to tell us about some ways to really stay healthy realistically this year.
Yeah, exactly. Just being smart with our goals, you know, that's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, but also being really simple.
Okay.
You know, it's getting back to basics. So I actually encourage people not to set resolutions, but to set New Year's goals.
Exactly.
Or lifestyle goals, as you were mentioning earlier.
I kind of live by that as well, because sometimes when you things happen in life,
it
right?
does. It's life. That's a beautiful thing. You can't be too hard on yourself if you get off track at any point, but to have a general plan that you're following. Correct. And for a lot of the types of people that I coach, one goal for 2017 I try to encourage people is more whole food, less processed foods. If you just did that one change over the year, it will make a big impact on your life.
All right, and you have a number of different recipes here that are pretty easy to do, and they look quite satisfying.
Yes, well, very satiating, and also on top of that, you know, as we sort of lead into this idea of setting these goals, and if nutrition's a focus, we often hear people reference counting calories. Well, I wanted to try to shift that a little bit for us Vancouverites. Let's start looking at nutrients and nutrient quality and density. Okay. So in particular, like protein, we always know that we need to get a little bit more protein in our diet. And so here I've got a comparison of what will give you 26 grams of protein. 2.5 servings of black beans, 6 servings of hummus, 7 servings of peanut butter, or 75 grams of lean cut steak.
All right, and now if you're looking, what do you think is the best option there?
Well, I believe in a variety of foods, but if you're looking to up your protein intake with less calories, if that is a concern, lean steak is really bang for the buck, probably the best way to get it.
All right, and then you're also kind of looking at meals through the week and how to, you know, make a roast and eat it in a number of different ways.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you and your husband are starting meal prepping, right?
Yeah, we have, and a roast is a really easy way to do that. You can have it, you know, as a dinner with some veggies on the side, but you can also cut it up and throw it on salad.
Yeah, and listen, we're Vancouverites, and I have nothing against eating out, right? And it's usually based on time and lack of. Well, I'm the laziest cook, okay? I've got 2 kids, my wife, people that know me know this. Yeah. And that's why I tend to lead with a beef oven roast. You set it, you forget it, you come back a couple hours later, you get a good meal, but then you can use it in other meals throughout the week. You know, so here I've got it as a salad topper. Over here we got grab and go tortillas. So it's just being better with your time and planning ahead. So this is going to set you up for success.
And I know you also mentioned not being restrictive, because there's you know, no carb, no meat, no this, no that diets. That can be very difficult to follow.
Well, and you have to ask yourself, right? Can I do this for the rest of my life? And if the answer is no, there's going to come a point where you're going to just give up, and you're going to
go off the rails.
Yeah,
right?
well, you will. So balance is important, right? And for people, like, this is why I have this idea of a healthy plate. Give half of the plate to vegetables or fruit. More color the better. Be an artist with this. And then a quarter of it goes to a whole grain. Maybe quinoa, couscous, whole grain roll, and then the last quarter to a lean protein.
So you're okay with carbs? You eat carbs?
Yeah, I eat carbs. Carbs, we all need carbohydrates.
We do,
you know, we need it.
You hear that a lot, you know, especially people trying to stay healthy. That's the one thing they cut out. It's carbs.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends what's going to fuel you. And ask yourself, develop a better relationship with foods. You know, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, you know, ask yourself, how am I feeling? If you're having that mid-afternoon crash, chances are what you're eating at lunch isn't the right mix for you, because you shouldn't be having those dips, right? And because when we have those dips, what do we want to do? We want to eat more.
Yeah, and one of the resolutions that I made this year was to cut out sugar out of my diet. And I have to say, I've been trying to follow it. There's been times where I haven't, but you do kind of experience that where, you know, it's the afternoon and you want something sweet. Like, what would your advice be to that?
Well, if you crave a lot of sugar, sometimes it's actually because we're not eating enough fat in our diet. And so our body's just craving instant energy. And so there's different ways around that. And it's just recognizing what are some of your triggers, and also look at your activity level, right? And I tend to go for fruit. Like, if you're not hungry enough to eat a piece of fruit, you're probably just bored, okay?
Or maybe drink a glass of water, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because it could be dehydration as well.
Yeah, all right. Okay, the great recipes here, they're up at your website, DaiManuel.com?
Yeah, DaiManuel.com. And if you use the hashtag BeefAdvantage, you'll find them really quickly, and they're free to print off and use and share and just get healthy.
Awesome. I might try one of them this weekend.
All right, that's
Thanks
great.
for coming in.
Thanks.